Hello, everyone. I wanted to give you an update that we have been working in therapy notes and creating more of an infrastructure around the reimbursement through Medicaid and other private insurance providers. We're doing this to be able to transition from solely grant funding to really blending more of that funding and trying to get more of the types of service codes that are available for the services that you all provide. I want to show you what this looks like for services. So if I go into a patient chart, this is a sample chart for us to be able to utilize. In this particular one, I can go into psychotherapy intake, treatment note, treatment plan, progress note, process note. We don't use process notes. We can use consultation notes for Medicaid clients now. We don't use contact notes except for if I need to just put in there that I did leave a voicemail or something like that on a case that really I need to be able to do that. I don't just do those to do those, and they don't count towards any of our hours of service time. Missed appointment note, I could do that. Miscellaneous notes, we don't really do those either, or psychological evaluation. First, let me go into psychotherapy intake note. For us. We created an unscheduled event. The first thing that I want to note here is that now we have a Medicaid integrative assessment of treatment, assessment and treatment planning. So we have the IATP or the note for an IM Plus CANS. We have the initial, and then we have a review or update of the IATP or IM Plus CANS. And then we also have a locus assessment. The locus assessment is used for adults only. And so if you're doing an adult assessment, you can complete the locus, and this is the note for that. And then we also have private insurance therapy intake notes now. So now at the initial description, you're going to see if it's Medicaid or private insurance that you're selecting. But let's say it's private insurance. That is there, and I can create a new appointment out of a new appointment time. Oh, let me see what I'm doing here. All right. In addition, while I'm doing a psychotherapy intake, it could be that I have a more complex type of case. In that, we can use the interactive complexity psychotherapy add-on. This can be used for private insurance only. So it says private insurance or PRIVINS, private insurance only. And so I can use that complexity code if, let's say it's a lot of emotion in the evaluation, there's extra people that are there, you may have a caregiver that may have some conflict, or there may be parent-child relationship problems that are notable during the interaction that made it more complex, more challenging than usual. You can add this add-on code. Or, as you all are familiar, if you're providing redeploy services, or if you're serving WADI or Illinois Department of Juvenile Justice contracts, that you can add these travel time. With the travel time, you do want to say how many units. So it's 15 minutes. So if I traveled for 30 minutes one way and 30 minutes back, then that would be four units. And then I would update my note header, and you're going to see the service codes there. Also, just to show you the couple of others, we still, every assessment or every client has to have an intake. Has to have an intake note in their chart, and has to have a treatment plan. So then when you're creating a treatment plan, just remember that a treatment plan is not, it's just an internal document. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take things from the IM Plus CANS, or if we're doing private insurance, we're going to do a treatment plan, and it will be the document that has the treatment plan in it. But we want to be able to have that so that it carries over, and that information is in each of our progress notes. The last thing I want to do is show you with progress notes. So if I create a progress note here, a couple things that I want you to note is that you now have more options and different options. So we have a couple that are do not use. We're going to leave those temporarily in the system. It's not terrible if you use that, but we prefer you not use that at this particular point. And we've created some clarification. So for private insurance, there's some time limits here. So 16 to 37 minutes is this particular code. 38 to 52 is this code. And 53 plus minutes is this code. If we're doing crisis intervention, we can select this as a crisis intervention code. And once I create an appointment, I can also go in. So this is the first 60 minutes of crisis intervention. And I can add 16 to 30 minutes additional for every, it may take me 3 hours to be able to work through that crisis. You can add that additional time and put as many units as it takes. 41 is a little much, but let's say 4 units. And so again, maybe it was 16 to 30 minutes more. Let's say I was with them for 3 hours, then that would be what it would reflect here. Other things with progress notes to note is with psychotherapy, if I'm doing Medicaid, then I'm going to be able to do a therapy session, crisis intervention here, or community support individual. And I'll share some of these codes with you. But let's say I'm doing private insurance and I do a session. I want to also add and make sure to note that we can also add this complexity, interactive psychotherapy complexity add-on. That can be added to my session. So if it's more complicated, if there's fighting, arguing, multiple participants are in the session, these are add-on codes that can be created. All right. I hope that this is helpful information. You'll start to notice this as of today, that these changes are there. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out by email or call me if you need to. Thank you very much, and thanks for all the work that you do. And thanks for this adjustment to the change as our organization has grown and as we're able to provide different funding sources for services that families receive. Thank you.